For example, if Susan wins, the Republicans get all the influence, and if Sarah wins, the Democrats get all the influence, and who loses all the influence is Maine. As an independent candidate, I would actually keep Maine strong, arguably stronger and more influential than Florida, Texas, and California are all combined, because as you know, that's why the two parties are spending in excess of $100 million to buy your vote and to buy Maine's influence.
Let's talk about some of the issues. Let's begin with healthcare. What is the single most important step that you think could be taken to improve the quality and the affordability of the American healthcare system?
Well, one, we have to not let the big corporations write the legislation for healthcare. And that's what's happening in both the Republican and Democratic Party. And we need, number two, we have tort reform that has never been brought up by either party. And we have to get focused on not ever letting anybody lose their savings or their homes because of healthcare. Healthcare is absolutely at the top of the agenda, and neither of my opponents can do anything about it because they don't have any say. Their parties do, and their parties are the servants of the big corporations that actually write the legislation. With me, it would be different because I'm only beholding to the state of Maine and the voters.
The federal government, as you know, has racked up trillions of dollars in debt over the past, well, the debt goes back a long, long way. Over decades, the government has racked up huge amounts of debts, but it has really ramped up in just the last few years. You're a financial planner. How would you address the enormous
a certified financial planner? It's most definitely my wheelhouse. I would be the foremost expert in Washington, D.C. regarding financial and economic matters.
So what would you do to try to get the budget in order?
Well, one, you have to stop the corporations from writing the legislation, because as long as they write the legislation, it's in their favor. It's not in the people's favor, not only here in the state of Maine, but nationally. So what I'm representing is not only a statewide movement, but a national movement of breaking the broken system.
In a couple of the debates, you did some rather dramatic things. The request denied line at the New Center Maine sponsor, the cutting up of the face mask in the other debate. You told me before we started this interview that you did some kind of zany things in the debate. Question. Do you regret some of that stuff? Do you feel that that has made you look like someone who is not a serious person and you would like to be taken seriously in this space?
No, not at all. What we've received, and a lot of your viewers don't know, we've received a lot of national press, from Forbes to Newsweek to MSNBC. Who ignores me is the local Maine state papers and press. They don't cover me because I think they're in the pockets of the big Republican and Democratic Party.
If people are thinking about casting a vote for you, are they throwing away their vote because you cannot win?
Well, that's absolutely not true. Actually, it's just the opposite. The wasted vote is Sarah or Susan, and people don't realize that. A victory with me, Maine stays arguably the most powerful, influential state in America, more powerful than Florida, Texas, and California combined, because all legislation, whether it's a Biden administration or a Trump administration, has to come through the filter of Maine. So truly, the wasted vote is a vote for Sarah and Susan, and that's the message I'm trying to get out. And the truth is unassailable. What I'm saying cannot be denied in any realistic discussion. I am the value vote for Maine.
What you just said is that if you are elected, then Maine becomes more important politically than California, Texas, and Florida.
All combined.
That sounds absurdly grandiose.
Yeah, it is. But, you know, the facts are just that, because here's what happens. Right now, the balance of power, that's why the balance of influence is on Maine. That's why this is the most bought election in the history of Maine, Rob. It's not absurd at all if you look at the facts. And the facts are Washington and the corporations are not spending $125 billion because they like Maine. They're not spending $125 billion because they like Sarah or Susan. They want it be 120. Think of that number. That's a huge number. Why are they spending that money? Because they want what? They want the Republicans want the influence and power, and the Democrats want the influence and power. That's why they're spending 125. I'm sorry, is it a bill? Wow, the number is just astronomical.